Okay, this video is about how you work out your scales and where they are. So you need to watch my video that it comes just before this one, where I teach you the major scale pattern. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Cool, so C is the first major scale, and it has none of the accidental notes. So there's none of the black keys in the piano, just the white keys. Fun fact, those keys used to be reversed. Used to be the black keys were all the diatonic major natural notes, and the white keys were actually different, made of different material, and now are on the accidentals. There you go. So they switched them around at some point. I don't know when. But that's pretty interesting. You can look up photos of old pianos like that, and harpsichords. So we have our major scale pattern of C major. C, and we just use the alphabet. Just go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So after G in our music alphabet, we just go around to A again. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So the G just crosses up to A. There's no beginning or ending to the lettering. It's not like the alphabetic song. We don't really start on A. So major is C, and there are no accidental notes. Convenient truck passing by. Okay, now this is the pattern we need to learn to figure out how to make our major scales across the fretboard. So this is the leading tone behind my note. So here's C, and the leading tone for the scale is the note behind this B. Now, because C doesn't have any accidentals in the C scale, its leading tone, one semitone down from the tonic here on the second fret, is a natural note. That's B natural. So B natural, C, D, E, F, G, A, B natural, C. There it is there too. La la, la 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 la. Okay, now here's the pattern. We're going through the circle of fifths. Now a fifth on the guitar is 5-letter distance. So C, D, E, F, G. If I count C as one, that's C, D, E, F, G. That's easy. That's the alphabetic order. Let's take the D note as an example. We'll start on D. Let's say D is one. D, E, F, G, A. And after G we go to A. So a fifth above D is A. D, E, F, G, A. That's easy. We've got this. Right, so from C, a fifth above C, D, E, F, G is G. So I'm going to go to my G note now. Let's go to G. Here's a G on the string 6, fret 3. So you might know this is the, notice this is the scale I played in the previous video. Let's figure out the notes for it, what they actually are. So the way it works is you carry on the previous scale's notes. So C has all the alphabetic notes, natural, but when we go to the G scale we change one of the notes, and that is the leading tone behind this note. So this is G. The letter behind G, or before it, so going backwards in the alphabet, G, F, is actually now going to be a sharp note. It's going to be F sharp. So there's our F sharp there. There's G. And so G scale has an F sharp in it. The rest is all natural, or as per the previous scale, C. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. There's our altered note, which was previously an F in the C scale. Now it's F sharp. F sharp, G. And that enables us to have that physical pattern stay the same. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Try it backwards. So let's go over those again. We'll revise them. So C scale, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. That's C, D, E, F, G, A, B. B's our leading tone. C. Have a play of that. Maybe pause the video. Now we do the G scale, the same thing. We shift to the G note here. And we go G, A, B, C, D, E. And its 7th note, the F is was F, now it's F sharp. F sharp, G. Maybe practice that. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And say the name of the notes. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And go backwards. G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. Okay, once you think you've got the idea of that, let's extend that further. So the G scale is what we're going to base ourselves on now. So we have all natural notes, G, A, B, C, D, E, but now we're going to add the F sharp as our original scale. So F sharp is going to be carried with us to the next scale. Let's count our letters. G, A, B, C, D. The next scale is called D, and it has the F sharp from the previous scale, but we're also going to alter it. So let's find D, 5th string, 5th fret. Use your 2 finger like I am. And now let's find our leading tone just before we begin the pattern. So there's D. The leading tone is the note behind. Now normally that's the letter C, but we're going to change it to C sharp. We're going to bring that note up, and that makes it the D scale. So let's start with that D tonic note here. So D on 2, 4th finger reaches up, that's E on the 7th fret, and now we have the F sharp from the previous G scale. So remember I said we were going to take that G scale and transfer it across. So the F sharp was part of the G scale, now it's part of the D scale too. So now I've got F sharp on my 1st finger here, on the 4th string, and now 2 finger, there's G, pinky finger on the 7th fret for A, and now I change string again, going to be on B, my 1st finger, and now here's our leading tone. The next letter is C, but it's going to be altered, so it's C sharp. It goes up to the sharp note. That's our new note that makes this D scale, and then D. So have a go at it again. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Alright, if you found that confusing, I'll just say I'll go through it again. So we figured out that our new scale is called D because we went from G to G, A, B, C, D, 5 letters above G. Our new scale is called D. And then we went backwards a letter to find out what the new note is going to be called. So there's our D, G, A, B, C, D. Backwards letter is C, and so now we're going to alter C and make it sharp, so it goes up higher. And there's our new note, our new scale D, and there's its leading tone. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And of course, the F sharp from the previous G scale is retained. Now the next scale, have a guess what you think it's called. Pause the video. Guess. The answer is A. D, E, F sharp, G, A. So now our new scale is called A. So to get there, I'm actually going to create something. You might see a pattern starting now. Here was C. Here's G. Here's D. And now here's A. Isn't that interesting? It sounds a bit like a Queen guitar solo. Bohemian Rhapsody, maybe? So there's the D. Now all the notes that are in the D scale, the F sharp, the C sharp, our 2 altered notes, our accidentals, and the natural notes, D, E, G, A, and B, they're going to come with us. So we start on A with the 2 finger. Let's figure out the leading tone, the new altered note. I go backwards a letter. What's the letter before A in the alphabet? That's my favourite trick question. Yes, it's G. So instead of having G natural, we have G sharp. It's our new altered note. G sharp to A. So here's A. Then we reach up to B. Now our 1st finger is going to come across here for the C sharp because that was the note in the D scale. So we're keeping that note. Then D with a 2 finger, E, F sharp from the G scale and the previous D scale. And now our altered note, which is G sharp with our 3rd finger. G sharp, and then A. Now this all might seem really tricky when we're going through all these letters and we have to remember which ones we altered previously. It's a little confusing, to be honest. I found it helpful to write the scales out when I was doing theory and actually just repeatedly writing out the actual scales in notes and letters. I found that helpful to help me memorize it. But what you might find useful is to practice this pattern and then know that, well, that's the pattern. I have to have some sharp notes and no flats. These are sharp scales only. C doesn't have any. G does. And there's my altered note. What is that note on that fret? I've memorised that that's F sharp. So that's F sharp in a G scale. Then I just follow this pattern. D, and then A. Now because it's a pattern, I think you can probably guess where we're going to go next. We've done this, we've done this, gone up a tone higher and done this and this. Now going up 2 frets higher and done this. Sorry, now we're going to do this. Sorry, wrong language. So now we're going to jump from this A 2 frets higher on the next string. So the pattern is. I'm running out of frets. So the next scale is E major. It's actually one of my favourites because it's got lots of songs that are in E. Because of that lovely open E chord. This is E major, not E minor. So E major starts with E, the 2 finger, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp from the D scale, and our new note, which is the D sharpened. And now D is sharp, and an E. So here's our E note we started with. And our leading tone behind it would be the letter before. So the letter before E in the alphabet is D. So that makes it D sharp as our new altered note. D sharp E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Cool. Alright. Next scale. We're going to go faster now. Let's move to B. So that same pattern. 2 finger on the B. And now reach up for C sharp, that was the note that was in the D scale. And now my first finger on the D sharp, fret 6. Second finger on the E, the previous scale. Fourth finger on the F sharp. First finger on the G sharp. Now a new altered note. A is now sharped. Sharpened. Past tense, yes. Third finger on A sharp. And then fourth finger on pinky B. So even with all this trickery and these letters and stuff, it really is just a 2-4, 1-2-4, 1-3-4 pattern. Okay, now move up 2 frets and do the same thing. This is the F sharp scale, by the way. This one's probably a little bit puzzling. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. Running out of brains here. B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp. Our new altered note is E sharp. F sharp. I bet you're like, what? E sharp. Yes, there is an E sharp. E sharp, F sharp. You have to sharpen the E. There's no other option there. So it is actually literally an E sharp. So let's do that in German language. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. So it's a fis, gis, ace, B, sis, dis, is, fis. Alright, now this is our last sharp scale, sadly. But then we flip into the flats and it follows the same pattern. But we'll come back to that. So this is C sharp scale, F sharp scale, C sharp scale. So moving the 2 finger to here now, back on the 6th string. This is fret number 9. And with C sharp scale, every single note is sharpened. So sis, dis, is, fis, gis, ace, bis, sis. So that's C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. Now you see why I learned how to say fis, gis, sis. All those ba-boom, 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 it's in one. Let's see, C sharp. Alright, let's see if you can play all these patterns in order, in time. So we're going to go like this. But we'll do it slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C, D, F, G, A, B, C, G, A, B, C, D, E, fis, G, D, E, fis, G, A, B, sis, D, A, B, sis, D, E, fis, gis, A, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C, da, da. I give up now. I used to be able to do it. And that's our major scale. Now you're probably wondering, like, where do the flats come in this? And like, I've been taught the flats are in fourths. And the flats aren't in fourths. That's not how it works. That's kind of like looking backwards at something and counting the numbers that are missing in something to count the numbers that it's actually made of. So that's not how it actually works. But it's just an easier way, I suppose, of approaching flats. But I found it actually, to be honest, I found it more confusing. And once I realised that that it was actually an extension of the sharp system that went from C sharp fully around until it got rid of all the flats to become C natural again. That's when it actually strangely made sense. So I'll just give you the starter. So C sharp scale, we're at there, fret 9. Now we're going to go up 2 more frets, do the same pattern. And now we're on the scale, let me think, that's A flat major. This is fret 11 here. A flat, then B flat, then C, D flat, E flat, F natural, and then G, and then A flat. So F and G are natural still, and A flat. So A flat, B flat, C flat, A flat, B flat, C. Yep, that's right. Sorry. D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. So what's happening here is this is A flat because that's the next part of the pattern, right? So C sharp, you go up 2 frets and to the next string. That's A flat note. This could also be viewed as G double sharp scale, but we won't do that. But so then you would go like C to G, C sharp to G sharp, if that makes sense. But it's easier instead of having a G double sharp scale, which is a bit ridiculous, but entirely possible. Just an easier way of doing that is to have flat scales. That's why flats are necessary. So A flat is the scale, and then B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, and its leading tone would be the G flat normally, because we're retaining the previous accidentals. So it would be a G flat note or an F sharp equivalent, which is the same note. We call that enharmonic. But that's not the right note. This is a new scale. I need that note to be a semitone higher, and that's why it becomes G natural. So I take that previous accidental of F sharp and I raise it back up to G. So G natural, A flat, do you see now? B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. Now let's use the pattern again. We'll switch. So maybe we're doing this pattern. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. So now our new scale is E flat. I like E flat. It's pretty cool. Its altered note is going to be the note before it, which was D flat or C sharp. The previous scale C sharp. But we're going to alter that now to D. We'll bring it up so it becomes D natural again. So the flats as a scale system. Sorry, truck. The flats as a scale system are really just pushing the note up. So it is actually doing the same thing as a sharp scale, where it sharpens the note, and the flats, as you go through the flats in reverse order of what you've probably been taught, the flats disappear and become natural notes again. So it's all just coming back up. So it makes a full circle in the end. So this is E flat with its D natural. Rise the D natural. E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. Cool. Now, instead of going up my fretboard like crazy, let's just transfer this down and follow the pattern. So that's A flat. This next scale is 2 frets higher and on the 13th fret. And that can be transferred down the octave to the first fret here. So let's do that. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A natural is our new note. So we did have A flat, if you remember, the A flat scale. Now we have A natural because it's our risen 7th note. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A natural, B flat. I think we're getting close to C here, don't you? So da, 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 da. I think we are. Now let's follow that pattern. What comes after the 5th fret on that note as a tonic? The 6th fret on the 1st fret. There, that's our notes. That's our F scale now. An F scale has only one flat note. F, its leading tone is E, so it was previously an E flat note in the B flat scale, now it's risen up to E. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E natural, the risen note, the new note, and then F, nice. So, B flat scale to F scale. Now, what's going to come after this? You bet it. You bet it right. You guessed it right. Yeah, sorry. 2 sayings together. We're back at home base again. We're back at C. That is scary, isn't it? So, as an exercise, we can do this. We can play up, those patterns, all those patterns we learned. And once we get to this this 11th fret, just jump down to first position. Let's play it slowly together from the start, from the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, E, fizz, giz, A, B, cis, fizz, E, B, cis, dis, E, fizz, giz, A, spin, fizz, giz, A, B, cis, dis, fizz, fizz. All notes sharp, C sharp, da, 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 da. Now in the flat scales. Down position 1. So we don't intimately know all of our scales. That comes with a bit of practice, but also probably playing music in those keys. You need to actually like read and play in those keys to start memorizing what are the actual notes in those keys. So you've actually got to play a variety of music to really learn it. But knowing this pattern and being able to play the pattern like an exercise, and especially if you can also sing, this is really good for you as a musician. Don't forget to play backwards too. I think I marked it up. Alright, have fun. It's a bit crazy. That was a big lesson.